5 quick tips on how to use deception. Like Yuuichi Katagiri, appear weak. Displaying weakness when you're actually in a strong psychological position is a useful method of deceiving people. The purpose of this method is to push your targets into an overconfident mental state, which will result in them underestimating you and becoming careless in their decisions. Remember that when a person feels superior to you, they will often let their guard down, never considering the possibility that you may be a threat and could outsmart them. There's multiple ways that you can fake your weakness. You could establish ignorance and act unintelligently when you're first meeting a person, or perhaps you intentionally let your opponent gain small victories in order to inflate their ego. In Yuichi's situation, he pretends to be in a position of inferiority when Maria betrays him. This tricked the opponents into becoming overconfident in their victory, completely letting their guard down and not realizing that Yuichi had another plan to win. Provide a misleading goal. When trying to manipulate someone, you should never reveal your true goals, because that will make it easy for them to predict your next move, and they can also use your desires against you. It's far better to fabricate something that you seem to want. In order to mislead people, all you need to do is talk about this fake goal, while also making it seem like you're working towards it. It's a great method of distraction which leads your targets to focus on something that you don't actually want, while also hiding your real goals. This results in them miscalculating and being unable to see your true intentions. In the case of Yuichi, he tells the opposing team that he wants to make Tenji suffer for what he did. This was a fake goal designed to convince them that it's fine to let him join their team, which deceived most of the opponents for a while. Due to them not thinking deeply on what Yuichi was doing, form a threatening presence. When you create the illusion that you can easily defeat them, they will often not attack. This is because people want an easy victory and will not attempt to do something if they think they will fail. Remember that an important part of deception is controlling how your target perceives something. With this method, you're putting your target in an anxious mental state to make them see things more pessimistically. You do this by strategically bluffing and performing aggressive bold maneuvers. It acts as an effective deterrent because they're fearful of the consequences that you exaggerated. For example, if someone is threatening you, make it clear that you're a force to be reckoned with. Embody aggression, unpredictability and fearlessness. The fact that you seem so confident is terrifying and will deter them from attacking you because they believe they can't win against you. Yuichi used this deception by performing a sudden bold move with zero hesitation, then proceeds to bluff, saying that the person with the lowest amount of debt will receive the penalty. This was completely made up in order to deceive the traitor into thinking they can't win. Since the traitor is terrified of the bad consequences, it deters the target from sabotaging. Make one option seem favorable. Letting your victim choose from a narrow range of options is a great way to deceive them because it makes a person feel like they're in control. But in reality, you're manipulating them into picking one option. To do this, you lay out a few choices to your target, then present them in a way where the one you prefer seems like the best option. Point out what's beneficial of one option and make all the other choices seem unpleasant. Also consider using the psychology of fear against them. If you can make your target fearful of the bad consequences, they will ultimately pick the choice that you presented as favorable. The way Yuichi uses this type of deception is by making the option of paper seem like the safe option. He mentions that he can only use rock and paper with his injured hand, causing Kuroki to think that Yuichi can't use scissors. So it encourages him to pick paper, thinking that he can't lose his fingers with this option. Plus, he's also scared of picking the other options as well, allowing Yuichi to win because of the deceptive choices he presented. Lay out contrary information. This is where you provide information that's the opposite of what's actually true. The reason you may want to do this is so that it prevents a person from discovering the truth. It will deceive them on what's going on and on what you actually believe. Since the information they received is false, it throws them off the scent of your true intentions. There's multiple ways to provide contrary information. You could do this by appearing to support a particular idea that's contrary to your belief. Or perhaps, you make it seem like you hate someone to misinform your target. In the case of Yuichi, he creates a conflict for Tenji to observe, making it seem like that there's hostility and tension between them. This deceived Tenji into thinking that everything's going well for him. But in reality, this quarrel was fabricated and was only acting. The fake conflict that Yuichi laid out was the perfect deception to hide the fact that him and his friends were secretly working together. Thanks for watching VevenSeven.